In this tutorial, I'll show you how to optimize your geometry and show you some tips and tricks for good topology on our models. So right in front of me, there is a rock that you will also get a chance to play with. This rock has really broken topology. It's it's seen better days, and what we have to do is we have to fix it. There is some edges in there that they shouldn't even be there. There is some faces that are not triangles or quads, and that's not really good. So in edit mode, we're gonna go to select all by trait, uh, faces by sides. So what it does now, it shows me at the bottom, select faces by sides. And on number of vertices, I've got 4. So it highlights all the faces that have 4 vertices. So we can work with 4. That's not necessarily the bad thing. What's bad is anything over 4. So like 5, your 6, your 7, and the number goes on and on. So what we really need to do is get rid of those, right? Because they're going to break our models. The UV unwrapping is going to be clunky, it's going to be messy. And if we don't pick it up before we start texturing it, we're going to see some problems in texturing, because sometimes before we bake or after we bake, those errors tend to show. So while we are in edit mode, we're going to go to edges. So now we can select singular edges. So what we want to do is we want to right click and dissolve edges, and it gets rid of that edge, which is just a simple way of manually fixing edges and bad topology. So what we don't really want to do is delete edges, because that deletes the entire face, and we don't want to do that because then you have to go through bridging, connecting faces together, and that can create its own separate problems. So we're just going to go with dissolving edges, which sometimes can create more problems, as you can see. So we need to be careful with which ones we delete to see what we can salvage from our models, because sometimes those edges will hold the geometry together, and you know what, it's fine. So as long as it's able to have the size, the correct silhouette, and work properly, we're going to be fine. So we're just dissolving and trying to see what we can make at this point, really. Sometimes we need to have like many different steps with deleting edges. So as you could have seen before I've done this, I kept getting geometry problems, but I've deleted a different edge first, and now when I went back and deleted it, it's not there. So since I'm just showing you a little bit, I'm going to let you deal with the rest of the edges in your own time. But now we're going to look at face orientation, because if the normals are not facing the right way, it becomes more difficult when we texture. So we're going to go to show overlays, and what we want is face orientation. So when I show face orientation, as you can see, there is little red triangles, little red faces, and if they're red, that essentially means that the normals are facing the wrong way. So you can see there's quite a few of them. So one way to fix it is to press Alt N, and so you can see it pops up with a little list. That's all to do with normals. So the top three are probably the ones you'll be using the most. So flip, as the name suggests, it will just flip them. Recalculate outside and recalculate inside is going to make the software ponder which one's the inside and which one's the outside. Now, it's useful if your normals are flipped throughout the entire asset, but in this case, just flipping the normals should be fine. If it'll let me. There you go. So I've pressed Alt and or Shift and to recalculate the normals. So Shift N to recalculate normals, you take inside or outside, or Alt N to get the drop down. So that's that for a simple thing with cleaning up our geometry. I will get back to you shortly with some modifiers.